He was closer than I realized, stepping in before I could turn. I was facing the light fixture when his hand brushed near my back. A spark, sharp and forbidden, lit up the quiet. He moved like he belonged there. Natural. Sure. I froze, caught between shock and something darker, something I couldn't name but wanted to chase. Part of me burned to see where it led. The apartment was silent except for our soft steps on the polished hardwood. My heels clicked, each one a pulse in the stillness. I held my notebook tight, the fabric of my skirt shifting against my hip. The air was cool, but it carried a weight, like it knew what was coming. I scanned the crown molding, the chandelier, keeping my focus sharp. He walked a few steps behind, quiet at first, tossing out details about square footage, the view, insulation types, landlord talk. I jotted notes about the boiler, water pressure. My hand shook slightly, betraying me. In the pantry, peering closer, his voice came low behind me. I like your earrings. They catch the light. His words hit like a touch, too close, too deliberate. I smiled without turning. Thanks. A gift. A pause. Then, in the living room, he said, "You've got a voice that carries..." It wasn't just a compliment, it was a hook. I glanced over my shoulder, not slowing. Happens sometimes. We moved through the space. I asked about the windows. He answered, "You act like you've seen finer places," he added as I stepped into the dining room. His tone was too knowing, too bold. I looked at him then. Strange thing to say. He didn't blink. No apology, just a steady gaze that pinned me. I let it go. My fingers tugged a curtain. Another note. Back to business. He led me to the master bedroom. Big windows. A view of trees out front. I crossed to the far side, standing where soft sunlight spilled through the glass. Could be nice, I muttered. My voice was steady, but my pulse wasn't. He looked at me longer than he needed to, then nodded toward the hall. "Let me show you the light fixture. It's new." I moved ahead through the hallway, narrower than I expected. It closed in like a trap. Clean, simple design. As I leaned to study the fixture, the quiet tightened around me. A floorboard creaked behind. A warning I ignored. His voice came low, one step away. "You'll make this place something else." I didn't turn. I stayed facing the wall, the air still between us. His stance had shifted, less cautious, more certain, like he'd already decided. The hallway felt smaller, the walls closer, like they'd moved in when I stopped. His voice came again, softer, nearer. It wasn't just sound, it was a pull, reeling me in. I raised my hand to the fixture, twisting my wrist to study it. "Brighter than I thought," I said. "Voice, even." He didn't answer right away. I felt the shift, the air turning heavy. He stood silent behind me. Then a touch, his hand light between my shoulders. "Sorry," he said, low, narrow hall. It wasn't an apology, it was a dare. I didn't move. The air warmed. Quiet. Still. I turned my head just enough to catch his face in my periphery. He wasn't looking at the fixture, he was looking at me. "You'll make this place a home," he said again, slower. The words carrying a different weight. They weren't about the apartment anymore. I didn't smile, didn't flirt. I just looked at him. He didn't look away. He didn't back off. And that scared me more than it should have. I could have stepped forward, broken the moment, made it nothing. I didn't. I stayed, caught, not sure if I wanted to move. His hand adjusted. A small shift, easy to miss. My chest tightened, my breath slower, sharper. He was closer now, one step away. I felt him there, even without touching, his presence heavy, real. I didn't step back. "This okay?" he asked, softer than before. His voice was a blade, cutting through the quiet. I said nothing. His hand hovered at my hip. I turned to face him. Not sudden, just enough, meeting his eyes, calm, clear, dangerous. His gaze didn't search it locked. Sure, steady, like he already knew the answer. And he did. He glanced down the hall, and I moved with him. No words needed. I stopped near the hall's edge, the silence steady as he stepped closer. The quiet settled, heavy, holding us both. Neither of us broke it. No words, just the weight of everything unsaid. He leaned closer, his face calm, watching, not pushing. I felt his silence more than anything, pulling me under. I stood still, unsure what I was waiting for. A spark ran through me, not sharp, just enough to notice. I tilted my head slightly, saying nothing. His fingers brushed my sleeve, adjusting it, then stopped. My hand found his jacket's edge, moving without thought. He lingered close, silent, still. We held hands, the moment stretching, charged, alive. It caught me off guard, natural, sudden, but somehow familiar. Time synced up, strange, dangerous. My hand rested near his shoulder, keeping us close. I leaned forward, and he met me there. No hesitation. His hand steadied at my side, firm, calm, anchoring us. Something in me paused, weightless, waiting. We both felt it, the pull of something unnamed, undeniable. He stayed close, solid beside me. As my fingers grazed his collar, he moved with me. The warmth deepened, pulled forward by something we didn't name. The hallway faded from thought. All I knew was how close he was, and nothing else mattered. His jacket slipped from my fingers, falling somewhere behind him. My blouse loosened at the shoulder, slipping, and I let it stay. I gripped his shirt tighter as he paused near my collarbone. The closeness silenced everything else. He stepped back just enough to look at me, one hand at my hip, the other lower, not lifting, just steadying. A silent question in his touch, one we both understood. I didn't move away. He guided me toward the window. The cool glass pressed against my back through the fabric, grounding me. My shoulders rested there, the contrast sharp. He stood in front, hands calm, sure, while everything else softened at the edges. The heat between us built, not rushed, but undeniable. My arms found his shoulders, holding tight. His hands settled at my waist, anchoring us in the quiet. We said nothing, the moment was enough. His fingers brushed my sleeve's edge, tracing where it had slipped. I let it fall naturally, unthinking, unafraid. He didn't look away, his attention following the curve of my shoulder. No rush, no words, just intent. He leaned forward, deliberate, not urgent. His presence was a weight, steady, pulling me in. His face brushed the hollow below my shoulder, and I breathed slower. Not forced, just natural. Sunlight hit my hair, spilling across my face, turning the quiet into something bright, suspended. He leaned closer. My hands stayed behind him, holding firm. His steadiness never wavered, and it shook me. His hand rose again, slow, light, following the moment's shape. It rested at my hip, just below where the fabric sat. And I leaned into him, not urgent, but right. A soft breath left me, barely noticed. I was close, lost in the silence's weight. His breath shifted, light, then still. One hand stayed behind me, steadying. The other lingered, not asking, just there. My fingers brushed his hair, careful, keeping him close. We moved lightly, adjusting together. No rehearsal, just instinct. He murmured something I didn't catch, and I didn't answer out loud. I pressed my cheek to his temple, staying, unhurried. The windowsill creaked under me as we found balance, not desperate, not slow, but full of something we couldn't explain. His breath grazed my shoulder. Mine followed, quiet, steady. I held his hand tighter, his arm wrapping closer, and I leaned in. He was there, solid, still. I tilted my head back, eyes closing by instinct. In that moment, I said nothing, didn't move. In the silence, everything else faded. Be honest. Would you wait or say something first? Let me know in the comments. I'll read them. And if you haven't, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for watching.